How did you know?
Your deal. That kind of power always comes with a price. What's yours?
I think you know. I am sorry. This is a necessary evil.
What have you done?
Ether brand neurotoxin. Transfers by touch. See, Edwards learns by his mistakes, 47. And as you've clearly demonstrated, brute force is futile. It had to be me. It was the only way.
To get this close.
My family. I know what you did. After all these years, I finally know.
I am sorry.
You didn't have a choice. I did. Providence used you, but I'm no better. All I saw was a blank slate, a weapon to wield. I told myself it was what you needed, but people aren't meant to be controlled. This is a kindness. Goodbye, Agent.
Now, Diana Burnwood has been appointed Constant of Providence by Arthur Edwards, and 47 with ability of super drugs, super science fiction drugs, has been incapacitated and delivered to Edwards, who is a man who does not throw useful things to waste. That's what Diana is planning on. So let's see what's the briefing. Confront the new power behind Providence. So, time to get going.
Are you still here? Still clinging on to your self-image? Agent 47, the apex predator.
Yeah, this is actually, you could say, a playable cutscene showing, and
Always
it's strangely
hiding behind the
about
headlines.
47 himself, and that's Novikov, and apparently this is how it happened. That's Soders
Was
from first
perfection
season.
its own justification?
Yeah,
Or a willful distraction?
and Isle of Scale,
A wall
Janus's
built
funeral,
contract
another
by
of
contract.
Washington twins, but the
To
corpse
shield
is
you
actually
from
Lucas
the
Gray.
uncomfortable truth.
And the Herald, and the Partners.
You're exactly the tool they bred you to be.
And more, and all his
Quite a piece
victims.
of work you are.
Elusive targets
How could
and
you
none.
possibly function on your own? You never even had a name.
Those are quite good
Until I
insights.
gave you one.
That's him. Burnwood never ceases to surprise me. You really are a most singular individual. And to think she wanted me to put you down. Lucky for you, I never throw away anything useful. Prepare the serum.
But
Forgetting's not so bad. You've done it before.
that was Edwards,
What's he
but he
doing?
does not
Is
look
he still
like
looking at us?
his
I'm afraid so. Poor
previous
Sap just
form,
won't
which was in
accept his days
Hitman
are
2. He
done.
looks, you could
Perhaps
say,
I
a bit
should take him out of the
sturdier in
woods
face,
and set
not
him free.
as
Oh, it's a classic.
skull-like. But he still
He was a
has that
loyal
very
tool.
unassuming
But everything
appearance
goes the
and
way of
soft
the horse and
voice.
cart eventually.
I couldn't agree more.
And these are, you could say, they are
Are you
glimpses to 47's mind and
The
personality.
toxins are playing into your fears. Don't let
Yes,
them.
despite him being, you could say, superhuman or top
Come
level,
on.
top human,
Gotta get your head straight.
he is not immune to anything. And this was one of the many places, maybe even before he joined the ICA,
She wants
where
me
he did
dead.
killing.
She has every right to after what we did. But that's not what is really going on.
She chose power. In the end, she was just like them.
No. She found a way to turn Edward's own cleverness against him.
Yeah,
The rest is up to you.
yeah.
I don't know how.
You do know.
The old-fashioned way.
Once you dispose of Edwards, I will dismantle Providence from the top down.
That's what she
It will
said.
finally be over.
And seeing that
All
the
you have to
Providence
do
is
is
actually
embrace the
very,
past.
very small organization. It doesn't have actually much of power. And I think that might be, at this moment, only killing actually bothering 47, even though, because he really did say me. Well, if 47 says something, he means it. He is, in a sense, does not. He in a sense is pure character, a person. He does not lie. There might be misleadings or double meanings in his words or speaking. But he is not directly lying. If he says that he's coming to kill you, he is doing that. And if he says he's not there to kill you, he's not there to kill you, because if he were, and it's like it should be gameplay, the target did not even know. So, some weird but narrow laboratory. So, follow the basic plan. Take out the dude, take his clothes, open the door, and there's a bit of well, there I have a plan. Yeah, the game is now saying that you wanna go all out and killing, an action, make it an action scene. Go ahead. Not penalized. Actually, you are. You don't get the silent assassin if you do go all out guns blazing. But in this mission, it's not really. You don't get mocked and bragged about. And that key code. And a big number. 1979. I don't wonder what year that was. There's rusty crowbar, some sort of refrigeration unit with chemicals and medicines. So time to open the door. Rusty items are similar. It's a train going through a horror movie landscape with an icy blizzard. Uncut Carpathian Mountains, Romania. Most likely place where Agent 47 got his start. And I did of course play through this mission earlier as well, just to get myself a bit more familiar with it, so there's less running about and all that. But it's a train, actual train, long train. So long that the glimpse of actual target at the end is just a little bit of a blip. And you are out of picture. Knock out. Take his clothes. And it's a freezing blizzard. And if this were a action film, there would be much more gunplay and a big fight. Steel, keys, guns, but they don't seem to have much of ammo, just 4 bullets. But there's no reason to do this subtly. Well, subtly, in the sense that, yeah, just get forward, but no reason to get upset if the stealth is low. And of course, and because this is a train, it's very, very, very straightforward and direct level. Oh. And it's going fast. I don't know how big the wind would be. Very strong. And with the instinct, there's a big load of guards right at the other side of the room. but the stage is set so that you don't need to go get into gunfights with everybody, which is real not well designed, I must add. And it's also designed something that you don't really need to do much of replays or anything. But yeah, Edward's plan is to just... Oh, that was close. Edward's plan is simple. Use the memory wiping drug, which has already been used once on Agent 47, and use it again on him. Make him useful at all again. Brainwash him again to be his assassin, because hey, maybe that stuff doesn't destroy his skills, or at least it doesn't destroy his body. So it's probably something that's really worth trying out and testing. Yeah, picking up soda cans. And following the action movie style, of course, going right through the doors, the windows. Rusty nails, these can be used as a lockpicks, but guards don't seem to be particularly aware, which is good. Oh yeah, and their chatter gives exposition about this place, that it was Janus's, aka former KGB spy master, personal carriage, whatever it was. He moved around with it. And it's a bit of a maze, in the sense that there are ways to get through most of these passenger cars without any kind of, you could say, fuss, and avoiding contact with the Providence guards. But there, in that kind of sense, is not much of point. And there are some enforcers as well. Then to open the door with a rusty nail. It's not the truck driver rusty nail. And pick up a shotgun. Because firepower is not a bad thing to carry in this situation. Also because Agent 47 wants to carry it so he can give some of it back to Mr. Edwards. Man with very dull name, dull appearance, and very ruthless personality. And not even particularly in that kind of hammy, gloaty, ill-tempered ruthless, just calm, extremely relaxed, peace, almost serene level of ruthlessness. Yeah. How in hell a paint can work as a suppressor, not silencer, suppressor, is beyond me. And an armory, and giving me a submachine gun. Yeah, but basically you could say that the level design is, oops, those are not instant death, but well, they are very dramatic little piece of level architecture. Oh yeah, and if it's covered with ice, 47 can't get through it. Oh yep, and no, they don't pay attention to a guy walking through the train car. Most likely because those guys probably don't expect any kind of trouble with this being secret train running around on secret routes, practically nobody knowing about it or anything like that. But how in hell do they keep going? You know, they have to stop eventually to do maintenance and refueling and getting supplies. That doesn't kind of make sense. This kind of goes mobile base and all that makes sense. It would be, especially if it goes like this on obsolete routes without any sort of, you could say, official styling.
Ukraine.
It can work very. It can be quite efficient.
Yo, security guard, hold up. Please not show my sight, idiot!
Well, they're out. But it seems like it's more like a one train car each has these. Enforcers or something. Like each and every car, I don't know how it's pronounced actually correctly, is you could say a mini puzzle of avoidance by itself. Because the guards don't move much, they don't patrol much, and there's very little opportunities to even
You should walk up straight.
To-
It's important to keep a proper upper
do distracting to them as well. That hurt.
Say what?
You go down. Knockout. Hand to hand. Those guys are lucky that I did not go all out and get the killing part of it. And of course gathering ammo, because it cannot be bad. And of course 47 at this moment is carrying quite impressive array of combat effectiveness. I think this is the only, you could say, missions where combat could be said to be expected. Oh. That's it. Well, not yet. This fuse cell could become very handy. Oh, he fell off. That was dramatic action scene. More fight. The open. Once again, a bit of guards, but they watch outsides, not else sides. So I can quite. That guy on the right close has to be away from me, and those two guys have to be on the same side, so I can now just walk sneak right past them. And in this stage, it's also some phases are even more of a, you could say, mini bosses, like mini puzzles like that. But 47 still does follow some sort of ethics of not killing anybody unless it's target, or like in that case of that one guard, completely accidental, which it was. Alright. Things like oh, I guess I killed him. Now I am the commander leader. Not any no longer not a security guard, no longer a elite guard. Now I'm the bowl super guard. And now I have a permanent stun tool as well. These guys salute me.
Sir,
There would be a quite handy way of distracting them if you were not just walking right through them with a appropriate disguise by using fuse on that light fixture thing to make them much more, you could say. Alright, I guess now I have to leave my big weapons away and arm myself with hammer and leave that unsilenced gun away as well. There's also some sort of armed guards here as well, but not that armed that they don't go down with a good blow with a hammer. They don't even know. Yeah, this is Agent 47's method. Appropriate looks and just walk right through. And that train is now ditched. They're gonna eventually notice that they stop. And then they're in trouble. All kinds of heavily armed soldiers in some weird location. There's nothing here. Only one person left. So time to go and confront Arthur Edwards.
I don't suppose there's any point calling for help.
No.
Seems I brought this on myself. Well played, Miss Burnwood. Do you really think she'll be able to resist all that power? This is not how people work.
She rejects the power, not the responsibility.
A noble idea. But please join me in the real world. I trust you already know what this is. Why not simply take it? Embrace who you were always meant to be.
No, never again.
Well, I had to try. Go on then. Do your thing. At least I die knowing who I am.
And time to give a brutal murder montage before I end the story. So, cueing the montage.
Please don't! What are you...
Any method there is to kill him is quite anticlimactic. But there's a way to hurt him.
What are you doing?
No! No!
This is what it means to lose everything.
You're making a mistake.
It's mine to make.
Oh. Forgive me. I seem to have, what were we talking about?
Don't worry. We were done.
that was the way to hurt him, actually hurt him, make him completely forget who he was. But he does not seems to have lost knowledge of English language. Providence is no more. Well, the assets and operatives are, but there's nobody commanding them. No orders coming. I don't think there's any standing orders like when orders end, get this and lurk. Nothing like that. They just don't know what to do.
The string of resignations at the top level of international finance continues as Milton Fitzpatrick CEO Alexander Fannin joins the president of Hamson Oil, while unique founder Tim Quinn and plenty of others step down.
Diana Burnwood is smart enough to know that 47 killing her parents was tool doing what it's meant to do.
It's been a long time, Agent 47.
That's not who I am anymore. The pact is done. The past, dead.
And yet, here you are.
I choose this path because I can. There will always be people like them. So there will always be people like us.
No one is untouchable.
It's good to be back.
And the only time Agent 47 in Hitman franchise's official story has smiled. Now, World of Assassination ends. I must say that its third part was a bit of disappointment in the sense that it did not have as memorable stages as second part of the second part, but it had much more, you could say, fun gimmick stages like the murder mystery and of course Berlin with lots of targets that you had to track down and all that. And I'm quite certain that now Agent 47 has actually taken himself a name. It might be Tobias Reaper, or maybe not. But services to men like him are most likely never be done, and I'm most likely certain that Diana Burnwood is there to guide him and provide him with info and all that, seeing that how capable woman she is. And seeing what kind of resources they already had in their disposal, I don't think it would be impossible for them to fabricate a new identity for either of them. So it ends. Story was quite, you could say, in the whole game, quite pointless espionage scheming of secret societies and coups and all secret powers held by rich assholes and all that. So it was that sense that it wasn't well done, and this third part also lacked quite much of the, you could say, bit of absurd comedy of Agent 47 being put into really, you could say, ridiculous situations or costumes. Well, good game. Not denying that, even though this third part as a whole was a bit let down. But then again, it wasn't as bad let down as DLCs or the second Haven Island DLC of the Hitman 2. And this one hasn't yet gotten you could say, an actually good DLC, which would include a whole new map and targets to assassinate or missions to do. So it's been flawed like that. But World of Assassination is now over. Now to go to the next project, whatever it is, whenever it is. See ya!